Good evening everyone and welcome all of you to this beautiful channel named Geeks for Geek School. And today we are going to develop again a very amazing and very beautiful and very famous game in Python, the name of which is Simon game. So in that you already know that we have four different tiles of four different colors, and we have to identify the pattern which gets generated automatically. If the answer is correct, we get the points, otherwise we get no points if the prediction is not correct. Now before diving into the platform, I would first like to tell you about this data structures and algorithm course. So we have come up with this course, and it's in this we are going to give you some live classes. We have developed this course keeping the grade 9 to 12 students in mind. And in this you will be taught about data structures and algorithm. Now what is DSA? If you don't know, let me brief you about that first before telling you what all things will be covered in this course. So DSA is a computer program is a set of instructions which is used for performing a specific task. Now it needs, for that task, it needs some data to be stored, it needs to retrieve the data. Now data structure refers to a named location where the data can be stored. Right, now what is an algorithm? An algorithm is a sequential set of steps with the help of which you can solve a particular problem. Now this DSA tutorial which we have come up with, it is going to help you in making programs, which optimized programs which you can implement in Python, C, C++, Java, etc. Now we are going to start with the basic things, and we'll then move towards the core concept of DSA. Now if you want to avail a good discount on the total course fee, that's the coupon code you can use. Right, and this offer is valid till 29th of August 11:59 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Okay, now if you want to check the syllabus, the topics that will be covered in this course, so you can come down and click this button. So it will open for you a new tab in which you will see a PDF file. In this PDF you will see all the topics that will be covered in this course. So we have basically divided the course in 4 weeks. In the first week, these are the topics that we will cover. So as I've told you, we'll start with the basic things first. So basics of arrays, basics of loops will be taught to you, which will be followed by things related to linear search, binary search, and finally this week 1 will end with a problem solving session in which we'll give you a problem, or you can say 2 to 3 problems based on whatever we'll teach you in week 1, and you'll have to solve those problems with the help of the things that we'll teach you in these 3 lectures, in these 3 first lectures. So that's how this course is going to go. Then in week 2 also you will get 4 different lectures, and we'll talk about some advanced concepts like types of sorting. So basically these are the types of sorting which you can apply on your data and give it a proper structure. Right, then it will be followed by a problem solving session again. In week 3 again we are going to have 4 different lectures. So stack will be there, queue will be there, and then there will be a problem solving session in which we'll give you some real life problems that you will have to solve. Then in week 4 we are going to talk about the topics which are very much in demand in the market today, and the name of the topics are BFS and DFS. You must have heard about these terms. If you want to learn all these things, you're most welcome to avail this course. Even if you are not in 9, 10, 11 or 12, you're doing graduation or post-graduation and you want to learn data structures and algorithms, then you can go ahead and avail this course, because in this course, the best part of this course is Mr. Pawan Dixit is going to be your course mentor. And let me tell you one thing, he is an ACM ICPC 2019 Asia regionalist, and currently he is working as a mentor at Geeks for Geek School. He is an expert on Codeforces and a 5-star coder on CodeShift with a rating of around 2100. So definitely with such a brilliant mind, you will be able to make your thinking skills more, you will be able to enhance your thinking skills and also your problem solving skills. So make sure you log in and register yourself for this course. Definitely you're going to take away many things from this course. If you have any queries related to this course or any other course that currently Geeks for Geeks is providing to the students, you're most welcome to contact us on this toll-free number, or else you can drop us an email on this email ID of ours. Right, thank you very much for this. Let's now come on this Python platform. So it's PyCharm which I'm using right now, and today we are going to develop the Simon game. As I've already briefed you about what happens in Simon game. So let's begin importing all the required modules first. So the first module that we require is, I think you know it very well. We need to import random, but from this random I would like to import this choice function. So as soon as you will write C, so these are the various options you're going to come across. You can simply double click this choice option, right? And okay, so we are done with importing this choice. Now the second module is time. So with this we are going to keep a check on the sleeping mode. So sleep from time, port sleep. So from this module you need to import sleep. Then the next one is turtle. From turtle we need to extract everything. So asterisk is for extracting, or you can say pulling everything from a package. Then there is a package named free games. If you don't know about it, then you can just try it out in this Simon game. How you'll install it, you have to come on this Python packages and simply you can search for free games. You can put the name of this package here, and then automatically an install button you will see in this right side. You can hit the install button and the package will be installed on your device. Right, so free games is the fourth package which we need for this one. And what all things you need to import from free games. So floor, and then the shapes. So I would like to have the buttons in square shape. So that's the reason square I'm importing. Right, then we need to have a vector form of the image. So vector also we need to import from free games. Okay, let's have an empty list now. So I'm defining an empty list in this pattern named variable. That's how we can do it. Similarly, for the guesses part, we can again have an empty list. In this variable we are going to store all the guesses which the user will make during the runtime. Now let's define the tiles. So there will be 4 tiles, and I would like to see all the 4 with different color, each with different color. So vector, we can make use of vector for drawing the tiles. Then we need to define the position. So the first tile I would like to see at this position 0, 0, and then we can put the color, so red. So that's how you need to pass the value for the color part. And I would like to see dark red. So from this category I have picked dark red color. Fine, and I think we need to enclose it in round brackets, not the curly brackets. Yeah, now it is perfectly fine. Yes, we can put a comma then, and I'm copying this whole code, and let's now put it over here. So that's the, sorry, I think I was not able to copy it properly. Just give me a short moment. I would like to check something over here. Yes, everything is going fine. Where is that? Sorry, I need to delete this thing from here. Yeah, now it is perfectly fine. control is okay, so dark red, and then we can copy this entire code, control is, and we can put it over here. Why am I not able to copy it? Yeah, now it is perfectly fine. Okay, so the second tile should be of, let's first define the position, so 0 comma minus 200, and I would like to have a blue color tile. So from this blue category, let's select dark blue. Fine, then we can again repeat the same steps for creating the fourth tile, and I would like to see the fourth tile at this position to minus 200 comma 0, and let's have a green color tile. So it's very simple, you know, the code is very simple. Definitely when you will code it yourself, you'll find it more interesting, and the output is going to be more interesting than the coding part. You all are going to like the output a lot, and all of you, if you haven't shared and liked this video yet, I would request you to please do the needful, so that more and more students can come and join this video and enjoy this class. Okay, so we are done with defining the vector for 4 different blocks, and the fourth block I would like to have it of this color, yellow, and we can have dark yellow over here. I think that will be great. Fine, now we can close the brackets. Okay, so we have, you know, this is a set. We have defined all these elements inside these curly brackets, so which means that it's a set we have defined, right? Then we can have a function. Let's say let's have a function with name grid. So this we are going to use for drawing the grids of tiles. Okay, so the first thing I would like to use is this square from free games. So square 0 comma 0, it will give a square shape to my tile 200. So need to define the position. Then we can have the color part, dark red. Fine, let's copy this entire line of code. I'm putting it here. The second tile I would like to see it at minus 200 comma, it should be 200 only, and here we can have dark blue. Okay, and then we can copy this entire thing. Let's put it over here. I think till now everything is clear to you. Let me know if you fail to understand anything, so that I can repeat and tell about that to you again. I want everything should be crystal clear to all of you. Fine, so that, because I don't want anyone to leave this amazing channel on which we are working day and night, right? So 200, so that's the position of the fourth tile, minus 200 minus 200 and 200, and here we can define this color dark yellow. Okay, and then we can call the update function, update. Great. Let's so we are done with defining the function which is going to help us in drawing the grids of the tiles. Let's now copy this entire code, or else without copying this also we can do this. So let's have another function with name flash, and to this function I would like to pass this tile grid, you know, this tiles variable as parameter. Not the tiles, you know, I think this will not do. In this we have the vector form of all the tiles, and this will give it a square look. Then we can have another variable. I think that will be great if we can have another variable for this flash named function. Now why we'll use this function? If you want to see the flash tile in grid, you know, when the program will run, you'll see 4 different tiles. and you will see a pattern also. So that pattern you will have to identify. Now for that pattern, what computer will do, it will show you some flashes on that colored tile. Now for that flash I need this function. So I'm passing this parameter, this variable tile as a parameter to this function. We'll pass the value to this tile named variable afterwards, but let's first concentrate on this flash function. So glow comma dark equals to tiles, and then we can have this tile over here like this, right? So this is going to glow, make the tiles glow. Fine, I'll show it when you'll see the output. I think then the things will be more clear to you if you don't know anything about Simon game, and definitely you will be able to understand each and everything more clearly. Then we can fetch the position of the tile. So tile.x and tile.y will help you in fetching the position. 200 comma I would like it to glow, right? And how can we make it glow? We can update, we can call the update function. Then after some time, so 0.5, after a delay of 0.5, I would like, let's do one thing, let's copy this code and I'm putting it over here. I think we can put this whole code right till this point. Fine. So square tile.x tile.y, and once we are done with seeing that tile glowing, I would like it to again, I would like the tile to, I would like that glow to go away. So how can we make it go away? We can put dark over here, right, so that the tile can again become of the color which we have defined over here. It's very simple, I hope you all are able to understand it. Then we can call the update function for updating the state of the tile. So that's going to give us, so that's the code for the flash function. Now what we have to do, we have to define the code for the grow function. So for growing the pattern and flash tiles, we need this function glow, or you can say grow. I think grow is a better option, right? Let's go with grow, and we can put a colon over here. Fine. Now in this function we can have this variable tile. Tile is equal to choice. Fine, and then list tiles. So that is going to get stored, this value is going to get stored in this variable tile. Fine. And then we can use this pattern named empty list, which we have defined right on the top over here. So let's use this now, pattern dot append and tile. Fine. Now for tile in pattern, let's have a for loop and make use of this flash function. So I'm calling this flash function now. Fine, and this I am passing as a parameter to this function. So it is going to, it is for the pattern part. Fine, it is going to tell us the pattern, and then finally I would like to see this printed in the as an output. Pattern, suppose out of 4, 2 tiles glow. So what should happen? I would like to pull the length and I would like to get it printed. How can we do that? We can do it with the help of this simple code. Len is the function you can use for getting the length of the pattern, right? Okay, and finally we can use this guesses. What is the spelling of guesses? Okay, that's the thing I've used, guesses. I think it is fine. Yeah, GUESSES. one E was missing, right? And then we can clear the guesses. Let's have another function, def tap. So now once the user is done with seeing the pattern which will get generated automatically through this code, so what should happen now? He needs to identify the pattern. So suppose 2 times the red tile glows and 1 time that yellow tile glows. So it means the pattern is 2R 1 yellow, 2 red 1 yellow. So the user will have to tap the red slide 2 times, and after that he'll have to tap the yellow slide once. So now this function that we are defining now, it's for identifying the pattern which the user is going to enter. So tap, now it is for respond to screen tap. Fine. So we can make use of this on screen click. I think that will be a good option if I'll use this on screen click function. So it is present in the turtle module, the one which I imported over here. So it is present in the turtle named module. You can use it for if suppose the user has tapped on screen. So for finding out where the user has tapped and how many times he tapped on the screen, you can make use of this function for identifying these things. So let's pass none for now, and let's have a variable x. So floor, I would like to have the floor value. Similarly, we can have another variable with name y, and we can have this floor y comma 200, right? And then we can use this variable tile, and we can have this vector x comma y. I think that is going to be a good option. And then we can use the index numbers for the length part. Index len guesses. Am I using the right spelling or not? That's what I need to check. Let me just copy it and put it over here. I think that will prevent the spelling mistake. Now we can have this if control statement. If tile is not equal to the pattern and index, so if this condition is not true, right, if this condition is true, if tile is not equal to pattern index, then what should happen? Right, I would like the game to end, because the pattern which the user has identified, right, is not correct. So he should get an exit. So we can make use of this exit function. Guesses dot append, and here we can append the tile, right, and then flash tile we can use like this. So these two things are outside the if control statement. The way I've put it like this, and they are inside this tap function. Remember this thing. Fine. So flash tile, and what we have done here, we have called this flash function. So it will execute again, and again a pattern will be created by the computer. Now if let's compare the length of the guesses. If the length of the guesses is equal to length of the pattern, right, then what should happen? Then I would like to call the grow function, and finally we can make use of this on screen click and tap we can use over here. Fine. Let's now define the last function, which is the start function for starting the game. So start, and here we can pass two things as parameters, x and y. Fine. And then we can use this grow function. We can call this grow function, and we can also call this on click tap function. So I'm copying this whole code and I'm putting it over here. Fine. Okay, now it's time for us to do the setup. So setup 420, so these are the coordinates. on which I would like to see the screen. Then we can hide the turtle, so that's the function we can use for hiding the turtle. And finally we can use this tracer module, and let's set it to false. If you don't know why I have set this tracer to false, please check the previous lecture. Grid we can call, and then we need to call the on screen click block, and let's start the game. So we can put the start, we can put start over here, and finally we can call the done function. I think that's all. I'm done with defining the whole code. Let's see whether it is going to give us the correct output or not. So when you run this code, I'm getting an error over here. What is an error? Okay, I haven't put the colon, right? That's the reason I got that error. Let's run it again. Okay, I haven't put this colon for this tap function also. If tile not equals to, okay, this not equals to operator, it's not the proper symbol of not equal to. Not equal to is like this. I think this time I am going to get the output. Again I missed that colon. Okay, finally we got that screen, but it is saying that bad color string dark yellow. I think it is not able to identify this dark yellow. Let's no worries, we can change it to something else. Let's make it khaki. So there is a color named khaki which you can use. It is also a very good option. Let's now run this whole code, and we are done with executing the code successfully. And as you can see, we have these 4 tiles over here on this window. Fine. So see, pattern has generated. Okay, so it is working perfectly fine, right? Now let me check the comment section if I have anything to answer. Definitely I would like to answer those queries first before proceeding to the next step. And if you like the lecture, please do like and share this video in your groups so that it can go to the maximum students possible, and they can also come and join the video, join this lecture with us, right? And also please ask them to subscribe to the channel, because the more students will join this channel, more popular will become, and more facilities we'll be able to provide you guys with. If you have some amazing ideas in your mind, please don't keep it with you. Share it with us. Definitely we are going to give you what you actually require. If you have some platform in your mind, you want to learn that thing. For example, you want to learn .NET, or you want to learn VS Code, or you want to learn things like artificial intelligence, please do put the names of the topics in the comment section. Definitely we are going to help you in every ways in the best possible manner, right? And thank you in advance to all the students who are regularly doing it, who are regularly liking and sharing our videos in their groups and making us popular day by day. Thank you so very much. So what I have done in this Simon coding, let me brief you again. So these are the 4 modules from which I have imported these things, right? And then I used these 2 list type of variables. This is for storing the pattern which will get generated by computer, and this is for storing the guesses which the user is going to do. Then we have this tiles named set, in which I stored these 4 vectors. Then we have this function named grid for creating the grids, this function for making that flash thing happen, this is for making the grids grow or patterns to get generated, and this is for identifying the taps of the user, not a taps of the user, right? And then finally this function is for starting the game, and then we set up hide the turtle, tracer we set it to false, grid we call the on-screen click, and finally we are done, right? So that's how we created this amazing Simon game, and I hope you guys enjoyed this a lot. Definitely in the next lecture we are going to give you some more amazing stuff, So please be there with us on this platform, and do like and share this platform with your colleagues, with your friends, so that they can also come and join us and enjoy these free online coding classes which we are providing. Thank you very much all of you for joining me at this time in this lecture. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye everyone, take care, and happy Janmashtami.